Okay, I'm gonna try to speak normally as if I don't have a canker sore on my tongue. Time now is one time now is 1:13 p.m. on December 20th. God. I slept from 6:30 to 12, and then I went back to sleep again for one more hour. And I couldn't fall asleep immediately. I definitely fell asleep at around 7. But yeah, I don't know. I just can't sleep earlier. I just fucking can't because I have too much to do. I don't know what the fuck happened yesterday. I'm kind of frustrated, honestly, because um I it's home all day. I have the whole day to myself. Yet I managed to not finish things. Like I planned to watch a bunch of anime episodes. I ended up watching like three and a half only, which is less than average still. I filmed 2 YouTube videos, uh, and I managed to edit 2 videos as well. But it's still nothing. I was supposed to upload worst albums of the year list. I haven't even started. I haven't even edited it. I started at like 6 a.m. and I'm like, yeah, I gotta go to bed. I don't know why the fuck do I still run at the time. I don't know why the fuck do I still run out of time. Out of. Fuck me. I don't know if the salt is working or not on my tongue because maybe it's too late. Like, I can still use salt to burn my thing, but it's already there and it already hurts. So this poses a question. This, this, this poses this. I was supposed to finish both Owari Monogatari and Zoku Owari Monogatari last night. I was only 2 episodes into Owari Monogatari. And today I'm supposed to start Monogatari Off and Monster, and I can't do the best songs list until I watch Off and Monster. Because there's a song in the ED that I need to listen to first, and I don't want to listen to it by itself on Spotify because that would ruin the cinematic experience of listening to it on for the first time. So I can't do the best songs list today. But if I do it tomorrow, it would also suck ass because I have to wake up early tomorrow. So I don't know. I don't fucking know anymore. My idea is honestly I'm gonna do it tonight. The best songs list. In the hopes that I would have a deep voice and not too tired energy tonight. Um, but yeah, but that also means I will have to binge watch a shit punch of anime episodes. Like, four. No. 5 plus 7. Plus, no, 5 plus 6 plus at least 2 episodes. So that's 13 anime episodes at one go. I don't know how the fuck do I manage to run out of time yesterday. I think I did at around 4 a.m. I suddenly had a stomach ache again. I don't know why. I don't know what food made me get stomach ache. So I had stomach ache twice yesterday. Plus I did the laundry, so that also contributed to my running out of time. But yeah, fuck me. The thing is, after dinner, I always put a lot of things for myself to do after dinner, um, but really, I don't have that many. I don't have that much time. Time. Dinner. No. Woo, woo. I don't really have that much time after dinner. So, yeah, and also today I think I'll go outside. I'll go to Amazon office, pick up my Lobster Blu-ray, and if I can, I either go to no I either I either go to I either go to Trader Joe's again or Ralph's because I'm running out of food again. I also need to, I guess, plan out the meals for the rest of the week because I need to account for the fact that I'm leaving on December 26th. Um, yeah. And then finally, yeah. Also, I had a pretty crazy multi-parted dream this morning. I think it's like USC related, but also not exactly. I ended up living in some house, and my new roommate is Ava, but the house is like a German house. It's like everyone speaks German there, like the host family speaks German there, and it's a house, not an apartment. And like there's a mystery going on, and then there's another part of the dream where the professor is speaking in Cantonese, and everyone who speaks Cantonese in the class was like, "Oh my god, wow." There were multiple people who speak Cantonese in that class. I don't know. It's really weird. Really. The t n l the t n l. I hope salt is working because this cannot fucking go on. Like I might not be able to speak in three 3 days. In in 3 days, I might not be able to speak, and that's bad because I still have fucking lists. And I don't know why, but my YouTube views are so fucking low right now. Lower than ever. Lower than ever.
Time for lunch, babe.
I, I think I missed it again. Hold on. Let's go. Oh! 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 Okay. Time now is 9:33 p.m. Yeah, I just finished watching Owari Monogatari Season 2, which I'm supposed to finish 2 days ago, but goddamn, that was great. Um, yeah, so let's talk about today for a little bit. Today. um, my tongue still hurts. I don't think salt is doing any help. I don't think salt is doing me any favors. It's just getting worse and worse as we speak. Yeah, so I guess I just have to endure the pain. Endure endure the pain. Endure. Oh, love it. Tongue ulcers are the best. But yeah, I tried my extreme best to be as productive as possible today. Right off the bat, right off the bat, I woke up and I immediately finished editing my worst albums video, and then I immediately filmed my best songs video. Surprisingly, I was able to film with as much energy as possible while ignoring the pain of my tongue. I put salt on my ulcer right before filming the video, so maybe it helped because the pain was so much that it kind of overshadowed it a little bit. And then right after that, I realized, holy shit, I don't have lunch. So I went out again. I walked all the way to the USC Village. Probably going to be the last time I'll ever go to the USC Village in 2024. Went to the Amazon Center and I got my Lobster Blu-ray. So that's fucking cool. Also going to be the last Blu-ray I'll pick up in 2024. And then in the meantime, I was like, holy shit, I gotta plan this shit out. I gotta plan my meals because I'm leaving LA in like 6 days. So I planned out all my meals and I realized I don't actually have to buy that much more stuff. And since it was like $5.50-ish, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna wait for a little bit and then I'm gonna go to Ralph's. So instead I took a Lyft to Ralph's instead of going to Trader Joe's again. And I bought my last round of stuff in 2024, my last round of grocery shopping before the year ends. And came back home, and the entire trip took like less than an hour. Less than an hour. And yeah, fuck. How do I even film the best movies list? It's gonna suck. At least I filmed the best songs list. Fuck me. Came back home and had lunch, which is a frozen meal, frozen enchiladas, which tasted way better than I thought it would be. I thought it would be mush, but no, it was fine. It was very flavorful and had some cucumbers with salad dressing on top. I'll have dinner soon. Could be pork chops, potatoes, and salad kit. Yeah, I was quite angry for a bit today before I left the apartment because I was filming my best songs video, and right before talking about my favorite song of the year, the Chinese guy started cooking, and for some reason he's washing something, maybe something. For some reason he's washing something, and Maybe it's his own hands, maybe it's raw meat, maybe it's some kind of vegetable, but he kept washing it for like 12 minutes ish or more. Like it was just running water. And the water was so distracting. I wasn't able to fully focus. And I wanted to be emotional. I wanted to be serious and emotional when I talk about my favorite song of the year. But yeah, oh, fuck me. I'm convinced salt is not helping me, but I'm gonna still keep doing it in the event that I heal before Christmas. If I heal before Christmas, at least I don't have to worry about my tongue when I film best movies of the year. So let's hope it heals before Christmas. Yeah, pretty productive so far. And I texted Tova last night. I was like, "Hey, when are you free to edit? When are you coming back to LA?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm in town right now." And I'm like, "Oh." So we'll see. Maybe before Christmas, I will get to hang out with Tova a little bit and edit a little bit. Maybe edit here in my apartment. I'm not opposed to that. Or in USC, but I don't know if the campus would be open. But yeah, good stuff. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really have much else to add. I have some more thoughts about, I guess, the second half of round 5. As long as I don't go back to Hong Kong, round 5 is not over. Round 5A might be ending, but round 5B is not. Also, Matt, speaking of Hong Kong, Matt just DM'd me asking me for like what cool places to go to in Hong Kong, and I honestly don't really know how to answer because I know the local spots, but like I don't know if they would interest Matt. Anyways, some thoughts, and that is romance. I hate to say this, but I'm thinking a little bit about romance again. And it's inevitable because I want to finish writing the version 3 before the year ends. And that will inevitably get me thinking about romance. Now, I will be frustrated if it's easy. Of course, I'm frustrated that it's difficult, but I will also be frustrated if it's easy. Love has always been a difficult thing for me. I feel like I am less empathetic than a normal person. Or more so the case, I am less susceptible to love than a normal person. And so I often associate love with suffering. And I often think of love as a painful experience instead of something joyful and happy. And I'm frustrated about that. But also, because of that, if love presents itself to me easily, say someone just randomly goes up to me and say, "Hey, I have a crush on you, let's date," I would reject. Even though that would have been an easy pick, an easy choice. I could just say yes. Okay, again, I'm fantasizing, like, no one's gonna randomly come up to me and want to date me. That's insane. I'm not that handsome, I'm not that charming. But if that happens, I would probably decline. Because part of what love is the struggle. If there is no struggle, it's not real. Maybe it's kind of fucked up to think that way. Maybe it's kind of perverted to think that way. Think that way. Think that. So many TH sounds in this fucking language. Maybe it's perverted for me to think that way. Think that way. But I've been thinking like this for such a long time now. Now the real thoughts that I have, this helps. If I don't pronounce it the th sound, it helps. The real thoughts I have is that um will my next one be easy? Again, it sounds really insane if I talk about it now because it's never been easy for me. I've thoughts on whether if I act naturally, if I'm confident, if I'm nice, and I dress well, and I have interests, I have interesting things about me, then wouldn't love normally arise? And the thing is, it doesn't matter. Even if it's easy for me, it will somehow be difficult for me. I think struggling is guaranteed. I think that me struggling is inevitable because I am that kind of person. Um, I will never be secure. Like if I fall in love with someone again, I will once again. It's the same thing with Leslie. It's like, does she like someone else? Does she suddenly not like me? Is she having second thoughts about me? Like I would overthink everything. So yeah. But I think more importantly is it would be an issue if I'm insecure and if I overthink because that is not a trait you would want in a likable guy. Likable people are confident. So for me to be confident, I need to bear the risk that I will not love. And it's okay if I don't love. If I don't love, then I will truly love, if that makes sense. Yeah. I don't really know exactly what I'm thinking about, but this is around the ballpark of what my thoughts are. Um, yeah. So even if I don't date anyone in the next year, or 2 years, or 3 years, or 4 years, or 5 years, if I'm okay about it, then it'll be okay in the future somehow. If I don't love, then I will love. If that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know. You know, earlier yesterday and today I saw Jiayun made some Instagram stories congratulating someone on their birthday. Some other 19-year-old black guy had a birthday, and she's like, wow, one of the coolest friends I ever known. And I just thought to myself, no one has ever made an Instagram story congratulating my birthday in my life, I think. Like, no one. I believe, if I can recall correctly. Maybe Pink or Leia have, but I don't know. And um something like this happening in USC just feels even less probable for some reason. So a part of me still thinks that I have a long way to go. Um I still have things to amend. I still have things to fix myself. I still have flaws in my personality. I'm still a teenager. That's another thing that I really think about in the last few weeks is that I'm not an adult. I'm 22 years old, but I'm also just a teenager. Not in the biological sense, but more so in the psychological sense. Like, I still think like a teenager. Sure, 4 years ago when I was 18, I think very differently, but that's kind of because when I was 18, I was a kid. Um, and I grew up a lot in the last few years, especially last year really fucked me up. And maybe part of me is an adult now. Maybe the fact that I'm not so petty and the fact that I'm so strong willed about my passion for cinema makes me, in some aspects, an adult. Maybe my plan to be healthy and improve myself, read, draw, work out, maybe these are adult things. But then when it comes to socializing, like friendship, love, I am still merely a teenager. So I'm not fully an adult yet. And yeah. Or maybe to some other people different. Maybe some other people go around and have sex, but they don't think about their own health. Unlike me, who, after Leslie, I realized the importance of physical and mental health. Yeah, either way, I'm not going to focus on love. I don't want to be in a similarly distraught state as I was back in early 2023. It's also extremely shocking that in early 2023, I was 20 years old, and I'm 22 now. So it's been extremely long. Like, it's been almost 2 years since I've fallen in love with Leslie. 2 fucking years. That is insane. So much can happen in 2 years. I mean, Forms 4 and Form 5 is 2 years. But I feel like Forms 4 and Forms 5 happened, like a lot of things happened in those 2 years than the 2 years that just happened. Yeah, and finally, I think my final thought is that if I do reunite with people like Cedric, Natalie, Kingsley, haven't seen the guy in years, Ernest, Topher again, I would like them to know that all the actions I'm making now in LA, including my change, the way I walk, my hairstyle, my confidence, my views on life, love, dreams, passion, the fact that I'm such an aggressive liver right now, the fact that I have these thoughts about myself and my artistic taste is this way, is all a result of what I experienced in secondary school. The trauma you gave me forever changed me and forever made me this way. So, again, it's crazy because as much as some people like to brush their secondary school life away as if it didn't really change them, I feel like everything changes everyone to some degree, even if you don't notice it. Like, maybe when I was bullied during that summer camp, when I was like 10 years old, maybe I don't remember much of that because I don't think much of that, but I feel like to some degree that was instrumental to the personality that I have now. So much so that I wouldn't even have come to the USA if I wasn't bullied during that weekend. You know? Like, if I wasn't bullied at all, and if I was really lucky and I was able to get a girlfriend in Form 4 and have lots of friends, I wouldn't turn to YouTube and I wouldn't turn to film. and I would do something like banking or finance. I would stay in Hong Kong. I'll probably be driving a car now. I'd probably rock a six pack abs, and I'd be a regular guy. I wouldn't be like me right now. I wouldn't have these thoughts. I wouldn't have such a personality. I wouldn't be so good at English. I wouldn't be studying film in Los Angeles if I wasn't bullied that weekend. And maybe some more. Butterfly effect laid out in front of me. Okay, let's maybe end this off on a more hopeful note, and that is, as much as I like to complain that the people around me are boring, really, no one's boring if you know them well enough. Next semester, I want to talk even more to people that I already know. Colin and his friends, Anya, maybe Matt, but not sure. Jiayun, definitely. If I could see more of Christian, that'd be great. Katie, sure. Maisie, sure. It's funny because Maisie, no, actually Anya is also a white person. Maybe I'll have my first close friend who is white, you know? The thing is, because of Film 33, I was able to pretty much in-depth know people like Jonathan or like Leslie, for fuck's sakes. I was able to really learn about those people. I want to learn about people now, not just meet them, but learn. That's a good objective. I mean, the semester that just ended, I met a lot of people, shit tons of people, and that's cool, but I want to dig deep this time. I want to learn. There's a whole world of lore out there, and I need to start collecting them. Maybe such way the detective will be revived, and you all will be here to witness the revival of the detective. No, when Jiayun called me, she asked me, why do you call yourself the detective? And I was like, it was almost as if I was prepared for that question. I was prepared for whenever someone asked me. So, and I know what response I should give. I said, a phone call like this will not be enough to answer that. It's a tale as old as time. There is a lot of lore. And she's like, okay. So perhaps I've left a bit of a cliffhanger there. And perhaps the conversation shall continue. So, fuck my tongue. Fuck. Damn, I thought it would be the slipcover. Oh well. Alright, salt number 5. It's 5 a.m. in the morning as well. Here we go. I missed it again. Oh. I immediately pushed it away with my lips because it was bullseye. It was right on. It was right on. Okay, I still have some left. Take 3. Uh, 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 oh. Okay, time now is 10:16 a.m. in the morning on December 21st. Got my tongue. Fuck. I feel dead inside, really. I went to bed at 5:45, which is not bad. But of course I couldn't fall asleep. I just can't. And then, I waited and waited and waited and waited and waited, and I still can't. And at some point, at 6:17 a.m., I was like, fuck it. So I took 2 melatonin pills, which I really didn't want to take. And eventually I did fall asleep, but by then it was like 6:30. So 6:30 to 10 a.m. That is 3.5 hours. I really want to go back to sleep right now. I really, really, really want to. Oh my god, this hurts. One good thing about being extremely sleep deprived is that tonight I will for sure sleep earlier. But yeah, this sucks. My tongue is not helping. The salt last night, right before bed, was way more painful than the ones before. And I don't know. I don't think salt works. Yeah. My lips hurt, my feet hurt. Yeah. Waking up a little early today because Michelle needs help moving. But before that, I still have 2 videos to film to review. So, gotta do that. Fuck me. I can't go to church tomorrow. Tomorrow's a Sunday, by the way. I need to sleep and wake up naturally tomorrow. I have to.
The hummingbird motif because what are you doing?
Filming how depressing Los Angeles is.
Yeah, do that.
I will drink your milkshake.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. There. My thing is, since I here, but I was gonna ask, what kind of car do you want?
I have no idea. Just
If you say you're not strange, then I'll say I'm buying for you because it's a thank you. I know you would do the same.
Order for Aaron.
so.
No, they have Blu-rays, they have books. Dude, they have antique posters.
Ooh.
Yeah, I didn't really want to get one because I'm like, I'm not a poster girl.
You wonder where they are. And you wonder what it would be like if you were there too.
All right, you can do that.
It's cold. Let's return inside. Come on.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
I'm gonna get a snap too. I'm sorry, Jennifer. No, you are. Like 11 and I'm like, can you not? My face is fucking cold. You wouldn't live.
Bro. Come on. Okay, time now is 3:16 a.m. Yeah, bruh moment. I am tired as a woodpecker and, yeah. So, woke up and I couldn't fucking bear the fact that I slept for 3 hours. I was dying inside. I cannot physically leave my bed. So I slept for 15 more minutes. I woke up again and I'm like, I gotta sleep another 15 minutes. So I slept a little more and I eventually did wake up officially at like 11, I believe, or I fucking forgot. Fuck. Yeah. I woke up at around 10:45, I think. And I know for a fact that Michelle's gonna be late because every time Michelle comes to my place, she's always late. So Michelle eventually told me, "Oh, I'm sorry, there's a traffic accident and I slept in, so I'm gonna arrive at 12:10." So I basically had a whole hour for myself to film an anime review and have breakfast, and then I left. So Michelle drove me directly to Long Beach, her new apartment, and yeah, she's moving, and there's a slight chance, actually more than that, that she's not gonna have her home anymore. So moving to Long Beach might be permanent, and that's a huge change in her life, and it's a huge deal. And hey, I understand that feeling because I'm losing my home in Hong Kong too. So I helped her move. We arrived at Long Beach, and honestly, we didn't move much. I honestly thought we were gonna do a lot of heavy lifting, but no, this is day one of her moving, so she's gonna spend, according to her, probably 10 to 12 days moving, bit by bit, from her old apartment to new apartment. And today is a bunch of miscellaneous stuff like books and paintings and like some clothes and some boxes and some cleaning stuff, some shampoo. So it was kind of simple. We parked the car and it's like a couple minutes walk to her place, and we went back and forth 3 times, 3 rounds, and that's pretty much it. And then I sat at her new apartment living room, completely unfurnished, and we talked for a bit about her life and what she thinks about the change that is okay, hold on. The change that is her life, and yeah, and then we're like, wow, it's already 4 p.m., so we have to find lunch. I was starving, so we went to a nearby restaurant called The Window that sells burgers and chicken sandwiches and Coca-Cola and lemonade. I was gonna get milkshake, but Michelle told me the milkshake sucks, so I got a cheeseburger plus some Coca-Cola and fries. Pretty simple. And Michelle paid for me. She was like, "Oh, you helped me move, so I'm gonna pay for you." So I was like, "Thank you." I took it because if I could save money, I would. And it's actually a pretty cheap meal. I told her if it's expensive, I can pay. But yeah, it's a good meal, and I felt really full afterwards. Like the French fries was crispy, paired with soda. It actually like fills you up really fast. Um. So yeah. Afterwards, she drove me to Century City, and we pretty much arrived right on time to watch The Brutalist. And honestly, I wanted to get caffeine because I'm scared of falling asleep. And we didn't get caffeine. I didn't get coffee or boba or anything. And we went to the theater and we watched it, and I did fall asleep. I fell asleep twice, like dozed off twice, once before the intermission and once after the intermission. But it was a very confusing movie. I was left overwhelmed and confused, and don't really know how to feel about it, but unfortunately I have to make my best movies list 3 days later, so I kind of have to make up my mind about it. So yeah. And then she drove me home, and she felt reluctant saying goodbye to me. So outside of my place, we sat down and talked for 10 more minutes where we just laughed. Very funny. She's impersonating me, and she's making up crazy stories, and I'm laughing at her, and I'm impersonating her, and we had a real good friendship moment. I feel like I'm in a TV show where the main character and his best friend is hanging out, and it's like peak friendship. This is what it feels like. Just a lot of laughing, a lot of silly goofiness, and you know, it's great. But she's a bit too worried about this, I feel like. I get it, she's sad. A, it's the last time I'll be seeing her in 2024. B, after today, the next time we meet is God knows when, because she's going to live at Long Beach pretty much permanently, and she can't drive around because that's not even her car. That's her dad's car. So honestly, only God knows when is the next time we will meet. And you know what? It's sad, but I've kind of already accepted that fact. Like, I've met so many people in my life whom I had to let go. So it's like, yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But it was a good hangout. It felt complete. It felt like a complete big hangout, and I liked that, even though I was really tired. So yeah, that's pretty much it today. Nothing too crazy, and it's absolutely insane. So technically today is already the 22nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So I have 4 days left, by the way, before this arc ends. Which is not a lot, surprisingly. So, gotta spend the last 4 days wisely. Yeah, and, okay, fuck, I keep rubbing my toes against the chair. Yeah, my tongue still hurts. I really don't know if salt is helping or not. However, because when I hang out with Michelle today, I'm distracted. Like, I don't feel as painful because I'm more distracted because I keep talking to her. So I didn't feel that painful, but it's still there, and it still hurts. So I don't know, I'm debating myself whether I should put salt on it tonight or not. Because I know it's gonna hurt even more than yesterday, probably, because my sore has expanded a little bit. So I don't know how much is salt helping my sore. Maybe it's not growing as fast. If my canker sore, if I didn't put salt, maybe it would grow faster. So I'm kind of slowing down its growth, but I don't think it helps in the long run anyways. I'm screwed either way. Yeah. So tomorrow's probably going to be home all day anyways. I just want to relax and rest. But in the next 4 days, I do want to do a couple things. One is celebrate Christmas. I don't know what to do on Christmas. I don't want to be alone on Christmas. Okay, I'm going to talk more about that actually a little bit later. The other thing is if I could go watch The Last Dance with Rachel, that would be great. And if I could go and edit with Tova, that would be great. But honestly, I don't know if I have the time for that. Yeah, let's talk about Christmas. And it's kind of ironic because when I told my mom I want to come to Seattle after Christmas, not before, it's because I am low-key predicting that I will fall in love with some girl and start dating someone this semester, and I will spend the Christmas with her. And of course, that's not the case because I'm a loner and I'm a loser and I'm pathetic, etc., etc. Oh, my tongue. So, yeah, but the least I could do is, if Cliff's apartment is throwing some kind of Christmas party, some kind of Christmas gathering, I'd like to be there. So let's see, we'll see. If I go there on Christmas, that would be sweet. So I'm gonna ask Cliff or Luis if they're throwing some kind of event that day. If not, then I truly don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't have much else. I've been thinking about Jiayun for the last couple of days. What an inconvenient name to pronounce, by the way. And that is, I'm overthinking a little bit. I think I'm a little tickled. I'm a little buzzed about Jiayun simply because she gave me a phone call the second time we've ever met, and that social aggression really made me go, whoa, really threw me off. And I think it's also exacerbated by the fact that I was already slightly curious about her existence before that phone call. But the truth is, Jiayun posted an Instagram, and it's just a bunch of photos like, oh, 2024 year in review, which is like kind of basic. And like crap tons of people are commenting. Like Ryan Sung, the APCA co-president, is like, yo, we still haven't had our coffee chat. And I think Jiayun replied saying, yeah, let's meet up or something, which is like insane. Like, to dissect this further, first of all, let's have a coffee chat is like asking someone out, essentially. Second of all, asking someone out is okay, but you do it in Instagram comments is bewildering. Third of all, Ryan Sung is pretty powerful. He's got connections, and he's a co-president of a pretty large club. And Jiayun is a freshman. So this entire interaction made me go, oh my god, she's basically available to everyone. Further looking into other comments, we have Maisie, the TA, also a pretty huge deal. The ironic thing is that she might also be younger than me. At this point, I don't even know anymore. Maisie just replying like, OMG, hottie, exclamation marks, or maybe it was somebody else who said hottie, but... And I'm just like, wow, she's so popular. So two thoughts arise in my head, and that is, number one, she's like Ariel. She called me, sure, but she's probably like this to everyone. She probably has a lot of people's phone numbers, and she keeps making phone calls, and she keeps talking to people, and she just gets excited over talking to people, and she just gets everyone hyped up about her. My second thought is... Actually, I had a bunch of thoughts, but my second thought is... What's my second thought? My second thought is... If she treats me the same way as she treats literally everyone else, then there's pretty much no point. As in... Yeah, I'd like to know more about her, but, like, she's, like, open to everyone, essentially. She's so accessible of a person that I don't know. It's if she is really this accessible, I probably would be uninterested. I like inaccessible people. Like people who you need locks upon locks, keys upon keys to unlock. So, yeah. That's that. And yeah, hopefully I go to bed earlier tonight. Yeah. Okie dokie. Time now is 2:54 p.m. on December 22nd. We are like 4 days away from leaving. I slept from 6:30 to like 2 p.m. but I just laid on my bed. I really planned to sleep earlier last night, but once again, I could not. Because I still give myself too much to do. Too much to watch and too much to do. So that's kind of fucked up. But the most fucked up thing is I didn't even feel sleepy last night. At around 5 a.m., I just didn't feel sleepy. Even though I slept for 3 hours, my body is just wired to not feel sleepy during this time. So melatonin is the only way at this point. But yeah, good sleep. Also my tongue, it still hurts, but I feel like it's hurting less, or it's not that it hurts less, it just isn't swelling. It still hurts as much, it's just not swollen. Like that part is not swollen, which is good. So maybe that's the salt helping. But yeah, last night I actually spent a considerable amount of time writing down a giant list of the people I've met in this round. Just a lot of names, a lot of people, a lot of faces, a lot of connections. And I'm just thinking, fuck, like, this is really a game of snakes and ladders. Part of me feels really cynical, and I don't know, part of me thinks, like, this is just a game of snakes and ladders, and I meet a friend, I don't talk to them, I move on. I meet a friend, I don't talk to them, I move on. But yeah, I woke up this morning with Colin and Jayun DMing me just small comments. Like Colin asking me how was The Brutalist. And also my YouTube videos are blowing up, which is great to see, honestly. But yeah, I don't know, like, last night I thought to myself, like, before going into college, I was like, okay, I'm gonna join a lot of clubs, make a lot of friends, and I'm going to be famous, and I'm going to be important. But you can't just become important because you want to. Like, it's still a game. So, yeah, it is still a game, I guess. But, I feel like right now I'm more important than I've ever been. Like, I have a moderate amount of friends in USC, and I've made a bit of a name for myself because of my short films, and also my track record of helping out for a set dresser. So I have a bit of importance, and that is already the most important I've ever been in my life. So, I ain't complaining. But yeah, today's a home all day. That's for sure. And hopefully I get to finish all the animes and stuff I get to watch. I have to watch. One good thing is I'm already caught up with YouTube. I've been speed running a lot of YouTube videos lately. I think I'm kind of caught up. So I'm only filming a mini movie review and best albums video, which is big. And the worst movies and the best animes videos are going to be lightweight. So not too worried about those two. So yeah.
Bon appetit, my friends. Oh. Okay. I immediately swallowed it because it hurts. It hurts too much. I don't think I can do it anymore. It's just gonna hurt more and more. Oh, fuck. I don't think I can do it. There's still more on the spoon. There's still more salt. I don't want to do it. Should I? Just a little bit more pain? Okay, here we go. Nah, I can't do it. Yeah.
Okay, oh my god, my mustache is growing again, even though I literally shaved it 5 hours ago. Yeah, time now is 10:04. I'm just gonna go cook dinner now. Yeah, NIHT. It's a chill day. It's a fine day. It's whatever. Yeah, very much needed rest. I want to sleep earlier tonight. If that's possible, that would be great. One interesting thing that I did today was actually I talked more with Jia Yun. So, yeah, before I get into that, I do want to say that there's no Christmas celebration. I asked Luis if there's going to be some kind of Christmas party on December 25th, and he's like, no, but maybe the 26th. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna celebrate Christmas alone, which is fine. I don't think I care that much because I don't think aside from last year Christmas, I don't think I've ever really celebrated Christmas for real before. During Christmas, I'm either Christmas 2 years ago, I was skiing in Japan or snowboarding, and then 2 Christmases ago, I believe I was in Hong Kong, in 2020. No, 2022 I was snowboarding. 2021 Christmas I was, I was in Seattle. Christmas are tumultuous times, perhaps. But anyways, I'm Luis talking to Luis was like, well, you can come tomorrow night, so I guess I'm gonna go tomorrow night. Now, another thing is I talked to Jia Yun, so as you all know, Jia Yun DM'd me saying, fuck, in response to my Instagram story where I took a photo of the pamphlet given to me at The Brutalist. And, yeah, and I was like, yeah, you know, you should go see it. I want to rewatch it. And she said, oh, well, I can watch it after I come back to LA. I have no one to go with, though. And I just thought to myself, A, you could just go watch the film yourself. B, that's sus. Oh, but I have no one to go with, though. It's a little bit like, oh, my tongue. It's a little bit like, I wouldn't say flirty, but it's, I'm sure she has tons of friends who she knows way more than me. So that is a little bit of, my radar is beeping, okay? I have trust issues, and I can sense when a sentence feels a little off. Once again, maybe it's like post-Leslie disorder, post-Leslie syndrome, but like, nowadays, I'm very sensitive to women who's trying to manipulate men. Like, I do think that men are very easy to manipulate, especially lonely and sad ones, aka me. That's why I am especially alert. So, I am resistant against manipulation, like emotional manipulation. I know tactics now. But our conversation continues. I was like, hey, so when are you coming back to LA? And she's like, mid-January. And I was like, oh, I'm coming back on January 6th. And she's like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to Seattle later in 4 days. And she's like, what? No way. Everyone I know is in Seattle. So she's like, wow, I'm going to come to Seattle on January 3rd and 4th to meet a friend. Like, let me know if you're in downtown. And I'm like, sure. And then, yeah, we talked about Seattle a little bit. She said she knows a lot of friends there. Like, yeah. And then I was like, yeah, Seattle's better than LA. Yeah. And then we talked, and I was having lunch, which is like ravioli for lunch, and salad box. And we continued talking, and unknown Korean voice outside my room right now. Anyways, we were talking, and at some point it got a little weird because she suddenly brought up detective, or I was trying to say, like, interesting, because that's like my catchphrase. Let me rewind our conversation. And I guess she's very talkative, and she's very, like, she records her own voice a couple times, which is very daring, because I never do that. Oh yeah, he said he's meeting another guy friend in Seattle. So yes, she has a lot of guy friends, don't she? And that guy friend and her, they talk, but their conversation is like different, you know. The guy friend was like, yeah, let's go to a record store and then let's go get food. Yeah. And I'm just thinking to myself, goddamn, do men talk like this? Should men talk like this? Or like... And that guy friend's like a Chinese American guy. And then a little bit later, I was like, oh yeah, I actually thought of moving to Canada. And we talked a little bit about visa situations. She has no idea because she literally just came. She's on an F1 visa too, but she has Canadian nationality. And not Chinese nationality. And yeah, at some point I was like, interesting. Um, oh yeah, she talked about a Sundance youth program called Ignite, and it's somehow tied to the O1 visa. And I was like, interesting. No, I was gonna ask her if I'm young enough for that, because youth program, I'm like, oh my god, I'm like a fossil. And she's like, oh, last I checked, you're not 25 yet. And I'm like, yeah, thank God. Um, and I was like, interesting. And she was like, what? Huh? And I was like, oh, I just like saying that. And then she's like, huh, you're a curious guy, aren't you? And I was like, yeah, inquisitive, perhaps. And she's like, oh, you're doing your detective thing again. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, when are you gonna tell me your lore? And I'm like, not today. That's saved for season 2. And she's like, okay, film major. And then it was a bit of an awkward moment because I don't know how to reply. I just said, bruh. Because it's really awkward, because the thing is, I'm a normal person now, and I'm not as delusional, but I still like to bear my detective title. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, and at the same time, I low-key wish she has something interesting about herself to say. So I was like, how about you? Do you have a lore? And she's like, what? I don't get it. And I don't know what to say. So my mind went through like 4 different ways to respond. One is double down. Like, do you have like a secret past or whatever? But of course that's an awkward thing to say over Instagram. 2 is to backtrack and say, oh, never mind, I'm just being silly, but that also makes me look like an idiot. So the other way to respond is to respond with a joke. So I was like, ha, I'm the only guy who calls himself a nickname. And he's like, what? And I'm like, never mind, I'll tell you my lore in the future. And she's like, okay, I'm really tired. I'm frazzled right now. And she said, I'm Christmas shopping for my brother. And I'm like, oh, you have a brother. So she has a brother 2 years younger than her. And he's 17. So 17 plus 2, that means she's 19. So that's good, because if she's 18, then she's like an infant. If she's 19, at least she's like not an infant. Yeah. So yeah. So I talked a little more. I was like, oh yeah, I got a brother too. I haven't seen him in 18 months, and yeah. And then she talked about family a little bit. She said her mom and her brother are in Vancouver, but her dad's in China, and there's a bit of a awkward situation going on. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And she's like, yeah, now is not the time to talk about this. Yeah, she's like, this is a longer convo, I feel, but yeah. And I was like, yeah, another convo for another day. And she's like, So yeah, pretty good conversation indeed. Also would be funny if I see her in Seattle. I think that would be fucking hilarious, honestly. Because the thing is, I'm staying in Seattle for like 10 or 11 days, and I have nothing planned. I'm not gonna travel around like a tourist because I've been to Seattle 4 times already. And then another thing is another thing is I'm don't want to, I'm not skiing for 11 days straight. Like, when I went to Japan for around 10 days, I snowboarded for 1 day, but I had other interesting places to go. But this time, it's, like, not even that worth it. So, if on a couple of days I could, go to see Jiayun, that would be nice. That would be really nice. Yeah. That would be fun. So, yeah. But, you know, this conversation generated a couple thoughts. One is, yeah, Jiayun is really the most socially aggressive, extroverted girl ever. Like, she just talks to people she barely knows, and I think she even admits that she barely knows me. I was like, oh, I have a brother, and she's like, older or younger? And I was like, guess. And she's like, I don't know, I'm not a detective. But if it was Leslie, I think Leslie would have played along and guessed. And then I told Jiayun, I was like, I was like, what was I gonna say? I'm having amnesia. Yeah, she might not be that complicated of a person. She might be a very simple person, but at the same time, she doesn't know me and I don't know her that well. We've only seen each other 2 times. I usually don't fully know a person until knowing them for a year. And yeah, I mean, people like Natalie. I feel like I don't know her fully until 2 years into knowing her, but even so, right now I don't know her again because a lot of her had continued to change in college, and I don't know. Leslie, I feel like I didn't know her, but I fell in love with her and we talked a lot, and that accelerated the knowing, but yeah, I don't know her. And I reminded Jiayun, I was like, you only knew me for like 2 days, so yeah. But she seems like a very easy person to talk to. And B, okay, A is that she's kind of a simple person, maybe. B is that, you know, she hangs out with a lot of friends. She has a lot of friends texting her and all that. And I don't know. Maybe she's just all over the place. A bit like, you know, there are several other people who goes into my mind. But then again, I don't know. But if I can hang out with her in 2025, that would be really cool. Yeah. So who knows? But it's a bit of a guessing game here. I don't know her that well. She doesn't know me that well. I don't know what she wants or likes. And she doesn't know what I want or like. It's a 2-sided guessing game, really. But for me, it's a bit different. For me, it's scary because I'm an introvert. For her, maybe it's business as usual. So, we'll see. And nothing else beyond that. Rachel does want to see the movie with me, so we'll probably see it. And then, yeah. So I'll probably go to Cliff's place tomorrow night. I may go again on the 25th. I'm just gonna show up and just sit there and talk. I mean, I can't think of a better way to celebrate Christmas than to just talk to people in person. Like, you know, simple, but I love talking to people. So, yeah. Yeah, and I believe that's it. I believe that's that. I don't have much else to say. And, yeah. Gonna have rice, kailan, pork belly, simple dinner, and then I'll have some ice cream, and then it's over. It's done. My tongue is still hurting, but it feels like it's healing, but usually when it heals, it just stops being painful suddenly. Or like, usually it's very fast, but it still hurts, but I feel like it's similarly painful as yesterday, which means it didn't change much. So, yeah. And also, I guess I could talk a little bit about my USC life goals, etc. I do want to set myself a list of goals for the next semester, similar to what I did for this semester. I do want to do that. A few days ago, I thought to myself I should take nothing seriously. Like, I mean, at around October, November, I already thought of changing my look constantly and just having a different personality every semester and just being random. But to take it a step further, I do think that even socially, I shouldn't take it that seriously. Like, because I've been taking things too seriously. And I should talk to people, especially, just, for instance, if I fall in love again, I'll make sure I don't, because it shouldn't be serious. Or if I'm making friends, I should take things easily, and, yeah, just nothing needs to be serious. But yeah, I hope for a better next semester, more eventful, more interesting next semester, helping out on more 310s, being more involved with APCA, which I think is on course. And again, like Jiayun is also doing the same thing, right? Being involved with 310s, being involved with APCA. And I think I'm kind of on course of doing that. So, yeah.